Well, that same storm system that hit us also hit the Midwest and other parts of the Southeast. At least 38 people are dead after severe storms swept through one of the hardest hit areas, the city of Henryville, Indiana. Few buildings remain standing there. Police are setting up roadblocks to deter looters. The tornado packed wind gusts of up to 175 miles an hour. Tonight, the National Weather Service says it was an EF4 tornado that hit southern Indiana. Rescue workers say they've had trouble getting to damaged communities. 19 of the people killed in yesterday's storms were in Kentucky. 4 tornadoes swept through the Bluegrass State. The town of West Liberty was especially hit hard. 3 people from that small town died. At least 75 were injured. No building was spared. Many of them reduced to rubble by the storm. Rescue teams combed through the town and surrounding area looking for survivors.
Several tornadoes battered parts of North Carolina early this morning and yesterday. The National Weather Service has confirmed that twisters touched down in Mecklenburg and Cabarrus counties. State officials report at least 5 people were injured, dozens of homes damaged or destroyed. Trees are down, so are utility lines, and hundreds of people are without power. Viewers have been sending us photos and video of storm damage from across North Georgia.
Take a look at this picture. A wall cloud shot yesterday afternoon in South Douglas County. Now in Murphy, North Carolina, strong winds knocked over a truck there, and there are reports of some major damage in Murphy. And
Paulding County also hit pretty hard. A viewer sent us a photo of a demolished house in Yorkville. And in Dallas, a roof ripped right off a home. Some of the siding gone there. If you have taken photos of storm damage, send them to us. You can email us a picture at weather@myfoxatlanta.com or our Facebook page. And you can find a gallery of photos on our website. Rush Limbaugh today apologized to a Georgetown University law student for calling her a slut and a prostitute.
The conservative radio talk show host insulted Sandra Fluke on the radio after she testified before a Democratic congressional panel this week. Now, Fluke told lawmakers she wanted her college health plan to pay for birth control because of the high cost. On Wednesday and Thursday, Limbaugh used his show to air the insult, saying Fluke wants to be paid to have sex. Well, today, Limbaugh apologized on his website for his, quote, insulting word choices.
Presidential candidate Mitt Romney won the Washington state caucuses tonight, easily defeating Rick Santorum and Ron Paul, who were battling for second place. Washington state not holding a primary election after today's caucus, a change from previous years.
My vote today is not that important. My vote in November is the one that's important, and I'll vote for whoever will defeat the current administration.
40 delegates at stake there. Washington's caucuses are open, meaning both Democrats and independents can take part in the Republican vote.
Hey, Mitt Romney's going to be right here in Metro Atlanta tomorrow. He'll hold a rally at Brookwood High School in Snellville Sunday afternoon. Now, he spent Saturday campaigning in Ohio and participated in a forum with opponents Rick Santorum and Newt Gingrich. Depend on Fox 5 News for complete coverage on Super Tuesday. That's coming up this week. We will bring you complete results from Georgia and around the country. Plus, you'll hear from the candidates, what they have to say about that night, and we'll have analysis of what the results mean for the presidential race. Join us for a live webcast starting at 8 o'clock on myfoxatlanta.com. Our coverage continues on Fox 5 News at 10 and Fox 5 News Edge at 11.
Atlanta police are looking for who shot and killed a 15-year-old girl. Atlanta police say it happened at a home on Altoona Place last night. Officers say 3 people were shot at the home, including a teenager who later died from her injuries. The other victims are in stable condition.
The residents of a Marietta housing project want the city there to reconsider plans to tear it down. The project on the block is the Fort Hill Housing Complex. It's the last remaining housing project in Marietta, and it's scheduled to be demolished this year. At a meeting today, residents and activists urged the city to save that complex. They said it's home to 120 people, and it's an important piece of Marietta history. Fort Hill was built in 1941. Another Marietta fixture is also struggling to stay alive. The theater in the square could fold this year because of money problems. Founder Palmer Wells says the theater troupe needs about $400,000 to keep going. It's launched a fundraising drive to raise that money. Theater in the Square was founded in 1982. Well, I wish the news was better to tell you about tonight concerning the price of gasoline. It's still on the rise. Now, out of Washington today, both parties were speaking nearly identical words when offering a solution to the pain at the pump.
We have to pursue an all-of-the-above strategy that helps develop every source of American energy.
Republicans continue to pursue an all-of-the-above approach that utilizes the natural resources we have right here at home.
Yeah, all of the above means different things to the left and the right because Republicans want to remove regulations on offshore drilling and oil shale production while also supporting the Keystone XL pipeline construction, something President Obama has yet to support. Now, according to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular gas is $3.75 right here in Atlanta. That price just a few cents lower than the national average at $3.69 a gallon.
When Fox 5 News continues in Polk County, homes on one side of the street were leveled. Just across the way, homes spared. Amazing stories of survival from storm victims coming up.
And Brave second baseman Dan Uggla looks to make good in 2012 on his whopping 5-year, $62 million contract he signed last year. Gil Tyree has sports next.
And this weekend, families in Paulding County cleaning up after strong storms damaged homes. Sky Fox 5 flew over Poole Elementary, where several classrooms were damaged. We've learned the school was deemed safe for kids to go to class on Monday. The Paulding County Airport also dealing with major damage tonight. Several planes flipped over. One caught underneath the doors of a building there at the airport.
Yeah, it was a scramble to safety in Rockmart last night when those storms hit.
Frank Martin says his family was watching television. They saw Fox 5 storm team's Ken Cook talking about the storm headed their way. They scrambled to find a safe spot in their house, and Martin says he moved his band equipment and cleared out a closet.
I went and got batteries and all the flashlights, and I started emptying this closet out, which was full of all these speakers and stuff. And there's nowhere else to hide here. We're not underground. We don't have a basement. So that 10 minutes before it hit, I was doing that.
Well, Martin threw large painting tarps on top of his mom, dad, and himself. They were not hurt. In his subdivision, houses on one side of the street were simply just leveled, while others were spared.
People in northern Alabama felt like it was deja vu. They spent the past 11 months working to rebuild after the tornadoes that hit there April 27th, and then deadly tornadoes hit again. For Brandy Robbins and her mother, they've been through the storms twice now. Their home in Harvest, Alabama had significant damage in April, and then tornadoes roared through again on Friday, ripping off their roof of their new home.
It's extremely hard because I have my home with my kids, and I have my childhood home with my mother that we're both having to start over. And
talk about a tornado alley. This area has seen dangerous storms like this in 1974, 1989, last year, and now again, just last night.
A lot of folks cleaning up, a lot of folks still dealing with the after effects of all the stormy weather we got last night.
Right, and you know, I mean, the good news in all this is that we don't have anything like this headed our way, at least for the next 7 days, or maybe even beyond that. So we've had a string now where this stuff seems to be coming, every maybe 3-4 days, and we get some severe weather somewhere across the country. Now things are going to take a break for a while as the cold air is starting to come in out of Canada. So now we're talking snow up across parts of the Midwest. So those places that got leveled throughout parts of Indiana, Kentucky, all the way into Tennessee, they're going to start seeing snowfall on top of all that devastation. Let's take a look at what's going on right now here in the southeast. 51 degrees here in Atlanta. We've got some rainfall still going on down to the south. So there's that strong cold front that came through, gave us the severe weather. It's now settled down to our south. The cold air will continue to come in from the north, and rain continues tonight down around Macon all the way just to the Friday and Saturday. Look for a few showers possible late Friday and a few showers on Saturday. We'll take a look at your morning forecast coming up in a few minutes. Doug, Deidre?
All right, looks good, Jeff. Thank you. A once thriving subdivision in Hawaii is down to one resident. and he lives surrounded by lava from a nearby volcano.
Over 26 years, the lava has claimed most of the Royal Gardens neighborhood on the southeastern side of the Big Island of Hawaii. Now, at one time, nearly 200 people lived there. Now it's down to 2 structures, and Jack Thompson, who realizes his days there are numbered.
It's so much around me now that I've become a low spot, and it's pouring in here. You know, it could go anyplace else, but once it starts pouring in here, you know, it's going to take everything.
A helicopter pilot is on standby to evacuate Thompson when the lava finally gets too close.
Plus, the tornado that devastated parts of Atlanta. It's caught, or rather Indiana. It's caught on camera, and coming up, we've got the video.
We are live in a small Indiana town where tornadoes leveled homes and claimed lives.
How about this amazing footage of a tornado touching down in Indiana? This video shows a tornado forming near a gas station in Henryville. The twister destroyed homes and buildings. The search for survivors continues tonight in the South and the Midwest after a strong line of thunderstorms killed at least 38 people.
Some towns were even wiped off the map. And tonight, Fox's Craig Boswell is live in hard-hit Marysville, Indiana. Craig, good evening.
Good evening to you, Doug and Deirdre. There's a path of destruction here in the Hoosier State that just goes on for miles. 14 confirmed fatalities, 4 of them just a few miles from where we're standing right now.
In the tiny town of Marysville, Indiana, tornado survivors are shell-shocked.
It's just unbelievable. The naked eye just can't hardly see all the damage they really did do here. A whole place wiped out like this.
The National Weather Service says an EF4 tornado shredded this place and moved on, leveling a 52-mile-long path. It's back-breaking work sorting through this rubble, but some aren't going it alone. Stories are emerging, tales of the generosity of complete strangers.
I had a guy pull in this morning. He said, you want us to take that tree off your house? He said, we'll do it for free. And while they're cutting that, 2 guys walked up to me from Evansville, Indiana. Want some water? Can we help you stack this brush?
As neighbors in Marysville vow to rebuild, they're leaning on each other and sharing each other's stories of survival.
She said, Daddy, the roof's coming off the house. And as soon as she said that, he said the phone went dead.
That young lady made it out alive. And now John Rosenbarger has put this deadly storm in perspective.
I thought he was crying over what he had lost. And he said that, no, he said, John, he said, I still got my family. That was his house right there, the slab.
And authorities in Marysville say everyone is accounted for. Now that the storms have moved out, bitter, cold winter weather has moved in as families here begin to recover and rebuild. Back to you guys.
Those victims have been through so much, and as the sun sets, any real concern about looting in that community tonight?
I'm not sure there's concern about it, but just in case, there's plenty of deputies that have been still patrolling the area at this time of the night. And when the sun began to set, they began to roll in. In fact, we saw a number of National Guard units also beginning to roll into this area.
All right, Craig Boswell reporting for us in Indiana tonight. Thank you so much. Still ahead on Fox 5 News at 10. There's a million different types of smartphones used by a lot of tech-savvy people. Coming up, one that looks old school but is really kind of innovative.
I guess. Plus, the Hawks' Josh Smith puts the word highlight in Highlight Factory. Gil Tyree explains just ahead in sports.